Morning.
Wow. There he is.
My headphones are not working. Hello?
No, yeah, I can
Hey,
barely hear you.
perfect.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Okay. Nice. It's going. Quick gut check.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the intro
The
music we did
song?
last week?
I thought it was great.
Yeah. So that was the Suno AI generated music app. As a music guy, I really recommend you check it out.
Yeah. I'm going to
It
try
was
playing a
great.
bit.
I made a lot of tennis themed yacht rock and country songs. There's some great country songs about being what did I say it? Trash savant tennis player.
Trash
Um
Savant?
yeah, I don't know. It was just the first thing that came to mind. And the lyrics are great.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm going to jump
Uh
into this.
you're gonna love it, but then also be like, damn, popular music is done. Like the pop
Really? You think
songs,
so, eh? You think long
it's
term
just
it's really going to be that much of a game changer that maybe like the artist will
yeah.
actually be the person who's prompting AI to generate music?
Yeah, I think there's a AI music record label that just came out and they signed their first AI musician for like $1 million. The videos, the
Yeah.
music, all of that is just generated. And think about pop
I've seen
music
that too.
these
That's been going
days.
on for a while. Like ever since we were
Yeah,
talking about avatars. Remember? Like, I don't remember when we were exploring that, but probably a couple of years ago. And there was the first AI based artist that was like a public facing artist, but it was really just like an AI avatar that represented
yeah.
some AI music. And we were like, oh, this is pretty cool. And that was like 4 years ago, I think.
Mm-hmm. They're all over
Um,
Instagram too now.
yeah.
Like AI influencers. It's definitely a thing.
I don't know. I somehow, I don't know. I don't have a reason for why I feel like this, but I do not think that AI music is going to take over
I think there's so much already
artists. There'll
on
be a,
Spotify that you just don't even know yet.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
But give it a listen and you'll be like, I see what he's
yeah,
saying now.
yeah,
Because it's the same with our profession. The the baseline is just going to be easier to do. You're
yeah.
still going to have your like mathy alternative stuff, and things really change when you have to think about like, well, what does a live show look like now? These
Hmm.
aren't artists that are going to have a live show. I mean, they could. That's a really
Oh,
interesting
I
idea,
mean,
right?
I feel like you'd have more budget for live shows
Yeah. No, it's cool because like who's
with all that
performing
profit you're
or
making.
what's performing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Well,
Um but yeah,
speaking of
so
it,
we'll have to do another one.
yeah. All right, I'm gonna jump into it as well. Super interesting stuff this end of August. Speaking of AI, the Financial Times released an article about the race to Google Zero, they're calling it, which is basically like zero
mm,
traffic because of
oh yeah.
AI search. And there's like a ton of panic right now with publishers that are seeing a significant drop in just web traffic.
Yeah.
Um, it's super interesting because Google's like not really admitting that it's happening, but everyone is recognizing that their the actual organic traffic is basically taking a huge dip because people are getting all of their information through queries. Um, so very interesting. Like
Yeah.
actively a massive change in search happening as we speak.
Well, they're
And it's
actively
going to be
eating their
super
own
interesting.
business model as well. Like, because remember when you could promote yourself like to the
Mm-hmm.
top and it would be like promoted search results? Like, that's gone. Google's basically just releasing everything in that top info snippet from Gemini. It's really
Yeah, but
great for the user.
one of the even before that, one of the criticisms was that Google was basically cannibalizing their own search revenue anyways by having all of those FAQs that would pop up anytime you search something and
Yeah.
basically just controlling search themselves. I wonder like what the long-term effect is there.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
how
it's been
advertising is
slow
going to sneak its way into AI search at some point anyways.
eventually. I mean, it already has. Everyone's scrambling to figure out how to rank in these LLMs, right?
Yeah.
There's like articles, everyone's panicking. It's as black boxed as Google's search engine rules, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So people are going to have to figure that out. But it is really fascinating because like most of your traffic is just bots. Like I read an article on the weekend about how the increased AI traffic to websites is putting a significant amount of strain on the websites in general. Like it's increasing load times because you're just getting hammered by these AI scrapers that are just like
yeah.
thirsting
That
for
makes
data.
sense. Yeah, yeah, totally.
So,
That's going to change things a lot for the way
mhm. So that's
for
what the
badly
data
built
says.
websites.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're going to increase load times. It's like everything about this is it's not great for the businesses because now you don't have organic search. And now you've also, if you want to be in an LLM, your site's getting hammered. So like people might be on your website, but it's slower or like smaller, less, uh, you know, websites that are not built with scalability in mind might just be taken down. Right. I mean, that's excessive. That's, don't quote me on it, but like, that's just a guess.
Yeah, it's super interesting. I'll send you the article once I find it again. Yeah, it's also, I think, going to change content. It kind of like starts to remove mediocre content that's just driven by traffic. And now you're almost getting back to like a one-to-one conversation
Yeah.
through AI search, which is kind of interesting. So I wonder how that's going to start affecting content as well, content strategy.
Well, I've already heard that FAQs are really good for LLMs or even just conventional SEO because people are just asking questions. So,
That was really
but it's,
exciting. And
mhm.
Ethereum announcing its 2026 UX roadmap,
Oh God,
specifically
uh,
UX.
Ethereum UX.
Yeah,
I'm lost. I'm lost. Give me some context here, because
their L2 layer where all the apps are built,
uh,
that ecosystem is basically has like major performance issues and obviously major user experience issues. So this UX overhaul is a mix of performance and user experience. Um, One of the interesting things that they said was that they were going to be cutting. I wrote it down. Let me see. They're going to be cutting or shrinking the time. Oh yeah, latency reduction is part of the UX overhaul, which I thought was kind of interesting.
yeah,
The roadmap brings transaction finality down from 19 minutes to 15 to 30 seconds by 2026.
wow, that's great because it's
And
a slow network. It's so slow.
98% improvement in
Yeah,
perceived speed.
yeah. That's like the talk that we saw at Config, where like they were talking about Dropbox and
Hmm.
optimizing for like perceived speed and real speed, and just how like speed is part of the user experience. And we all know this. Like if something takes longer than 3 seconds to load, like we're gone.
Yeah, and there's also design and UX solutions to make things feel faster as well. So it totally makes sense that it would be like all is within the kind of UX umbrella.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so
Interesting.
that's
So are
huge
you all
because
in
that
on Ethereum now?
no, I'm not. I'm not in on Ethereum at all. Actually,
What? Oh my God. Okay.
yeah, not really. Not these days. Um, that was the old Marcello.
Well,
Um,
don't look at my portfolio then.
well, I mean, honestly, I think that's going to be amazing for Ethereum if depending how it rolls out.
Yeah. It is the gas for these transactions. That's the way people think about it. Well, that's I'm gonna have to look that up. That's a good
Yeah,
one to send me. Yeah, I mean, for me in like AI news, did you see the MIT article about how like 95% failure rate for AI implementation?
95. Is that what you said?
Yeah, 95% failure rate for uh, AI implementation and like enterprise, basically producing zero returns. But like the reason I
Yeah,
wanted to bring this one up was just because there's so much uh, misinformation and just like uh, headlines out there. And if you just read the headlines, that's pretty drastic, right? It can be kind of scary. But like the report just says that it's hard to measure the impact. So you have all of these like anecdotal, qualitative statements about how it's improved productivity, but the organizations are struggling to connect that to their profit loss. Basically.
Well, how are they saying that 95%? Where are they getting that 95% failure from?
They're just saying that Gen AI investments have produced zero returns. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Is it just a random article or in title saying 95% of projects fail? Like where's that data?
Well, so the data is in the MIT article. Basically that it's they're spending so much on AI experiments, but then they're not seeing the benefits from it.
And they're considering that a failure, basically.
Yeah, well, it's not a success. I mean, a failed experiment is a failed experiment. And if you're investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in it, then there's a cost to that, right? But the article makes the argument that they're just treating it like the old world of digital transformation. So like too many half-baked scattered experiments with no core focus. And a lot of the times they're trying to address surface level issues like flashy marketing pilots rather than like back end operations. So they're not seeing these big gains in marketing or anything, but they are seeing these gains in productivity from operations. They're just failing at documenting those in any meaningful way.
Interesting.
So that's why the article is interesting, because the headline is like, you can read it one way, 95% failure, but it's like, well, failure because we don't know how to track the productivity and the impact, but also failure because you're trying it on the wrong things for now. So yeah, I mean, I think that's another.
I wonder what are common projects that organizations of that size are working on.
Yeah. Well, the one I've heard of with the most success is all the GTM stuff, the go-to-market work, sales work.
Yeah.
The commentary around that is that rather than scaling account executives and SDRs, they're just scaling Gen AI agents. And
so
that's
that like confusing to me, because that stuff, like, how would it be complicated to measure the performance on something like that? Because you can definitely measure performance on any of the go-to-market stuff, or impact, let's say, not performance, impact.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to read the article as well, because it's not like any article, like any good research, they're focused on one thing. It's not a meta review of all roles, all positions. They're not specifically looking at like CEOs or sales. They're like, okay, well, this is organizations are focusing most of their effort on X% of marketing initiatives with Gen AI, and it's not going well, right? So,
the bubble.
It's the bubble. Yeah.
I see. We'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
What else you got? Because I've got the Pentagon Pizza Index. Please tell me you've heard of the Pentagon Pizza Index.
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Okay.
No. I have 2 kids, Simon. I don't have time for Pentagon Pizza Indices. Indices.
Well, I don't have kids, and I can go down dark rabbit holes all I like. So we're not going to get into politics. But the Pentagon Pizza Index tracks late night pizza deliveries to the Pentagon area. Do you have any guesses about what that might mean? Just assumptions?
People are just working late.
What do you think that means?
I mean, I'm sure people are always working late at the Pentagon.
Yeah,
that's just
that's why there's
another
an
assumption.
Index. That's why there's an index, and it's
interesting.
It's funny and cool,
Pentagon
and this is kind of where
Index.
It bridges into like our industry of data UX, because they track this, right? So they can see that the average pizza orders, there's a baseline.
Damn,
but
that's brilliant.
During
I love
times
this. I absolutely love this.
Yeah, high stakes, right? High stakes developments, level of effort, urgency, overtime, pizza orders soar in the Pentagon area. So that is the Pentagon Pizza Index. So they're trying to basically say, well, what is going on in the US? Because people are working late on something big. So
This is awesome.
it's great. It's one of my favorite things
I'm on
about
the
the
website
internet.
right now, and I love how they also have like a DEF CON level based on all the pizza data. And
Yeah.
the pizza by brand too.
No way. Where's Domino's on that? Tell me Domino's
Domino's,
is
I
doing
actually
well.
I was on Tuesday today, and this is an amazing website, by the way. They have rankings for each of the the pizza companies too, like quiet, nominal, and I guess these are the popular brands. So Papa John's, which is great, Pizzato Pizza, We the Pizza,
Wow.
District Pizza Palace, Extreme Pizza, and Domino's
Whoa.
Pizza. Domino's is up there.
Okay, well, are they top 5 or what are we talking?
Domino's is currently quieter than usual.
Oh, interesting. See,
I don't
I'm
know.
like,
It just shows like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm gonna definitely be digging into this deeper.
yeah, I'm definitely a big Domino's fanboy, so
Me
I
too.
want the
Domino's
best
is
for
the
them.
best.
They're a tech company. They're not a pizza company. So, but yeah,
Great.
this is remember when Strava, it wasn't even a leak, but remember when people were running around military bases and
Yes, and then
posting it on
people were,
Strava, so then people
yeah,
were like inferring intelligence
yeah,
from that?
yeah.
It's really fascinating how you have these like public apps or like public data that really it suggests a pattern that you can use for intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Totally.
clearly activity happening at the Pentagon.
Oh
Like that's
yeah, for sure.
unquestionable. What it is, you're just not going to know, but there is something big. And if you have been following the news, um, he who shall remain unnamed, there's something going on. He hasn't made any public appearances. So, like I said, we're not talking politics.
Today's it's supposed to be a surprise announcement for them actually.
Yeah. So, see, I mean, all of this tracks. We've got the
Um,
pizza index.
yeah,
We've
it could
got
be. We'll see. Do you know
this.
Polymarket? Have you ever jumped
No,
into
no, no.
Polymarket? So
What
Polymarket
is
is
this?
like a crypto betting platform, but you can bet on
You've told
because
me about this. Yes.
because it's been a long time since I explored it, but it came up in a conversation on the weekend with someone who's an engineer in the crypto space, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about. We were just talking about like the use case of Bitcoin and stuff like that. He brought up Polymarket again, which is like, yeah, it's amazing for betting. You can bet on literally anything. So there's all these like unbelievable, like there's all these wild bets right now. Like right now, one of them is, will Trump resign today? And there's 3 million
Man,
in
there's
volume
so
of
many.
bets right
There
now
is
on
so many
whether
bets.
Trump's resigning today. So yeah, it's just like,
Wow.
the reason why I came up is because they actually have a market intelligence link on the Pentagon Pizza Index that links to Polymarket.
This runs so deep.
Yes, it's all
This is
connected.
like a multi-layered thing. Politics and government these
Wow.
days.
Fed decision in September. There's a bet right now on the federal bank's decision, September decision. 25 basis points decrease or 50 plus basis points decrease. And there's currently $56 million in circulation on this bet, with 82% betting that there's going to be a 25 basis point decrease in September. $56 million betting on that total volume.
Wow. So see, you need to get some Ethereum in your wallet so that you can place these bets. You're
Yeah,
really
I wouldn't
missing
mind
out.
jumping in on this top Spotify artist for 2025, Bad Bunny or Taylor Swift.
Who is it for you? I mean,
Bad Bunny.
it's gonna be Tay Swift. I mean, I think yeah, both are good.
Yeah. Anyways, super
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, yeah. We'll see today. The next and last thing I got.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is just more for us. Like we talk so much about MVPs and how like everybody's got MVPs wrong. And I just saw yet another example of this. I was reviewing proposal for an MVP. And what got me is like, it wasn't an MVP. It was a full on product build, go to market strategy. Like everything was figured out from the most granular part of the architecture. Like it was a fully fleshed out product at that point. And I won't get into costs, but like that's not an MVP in our books. And I think we're done.
Why
I
not
think
get
we
into
can't.
cost?
No, it's private.
I'm curious. Okay, you'll have to tell me offline.
I'll tell you offline. But yeah,
There's no
um,
identifiers here. Anyways,
no,
tell me
that
offline.
that is also true. But like it was absurd to me because all of the language was this is the cost for the MVP. This is the architecture for the MVP. Like no, it's not a minimum viable product. What you've outlined here is the product. It's the final functioning go to market, polished website, polished UX, everything. And
Was
that's
it
why you're
called an MVP? Were they
paying.
calling it an MVP?
Yeah,
Weird.
everywhere.
Weird.
And that's what I found so interesting because you and me have this commentary all the time that people mislabel, misrepresent what an MVP actually is. And this was one of the like very first times I saw it, just so blatant, we'll say. And like
Hmm.
I think that we would just waste our time trying to reframe the label. Let's just let an MVP. An MVP is now a beta, and a
Yeah.
proof of concept is now an MVP. Like I think that's what we have to go forward with, because a proof of concept should just be that scrappy, like popsicle sticks and glue and like whatever
Yeah.
you
Proof of
have to
concept is
test the idea.
definitely something that I think well, yeah, I just find that like this is a related. I had multiple thoughts, but proof of concept makes more sense to me. I think I find that in our space, and we're guilty of it too at times, but we always use terminology that is just not for everyone. So, like an MVP makes sense for probably most product companies. They would have a sense
Yeah.
of what the expectations are, but there's no one in the corp. Well, I shouldn't say no one. There's not many from like a percentage population in the corporate world that really truly understand, um, what an MVP actually is. Um, other than like the definition of it, minimal, what the acronym stands for, but that still doesn't really mean anything. Um, there's just a lot of language that we use that working with marketers is just doesn't make sense. Like we're often not speaking our client's language actually. Uh, and I say we as in
Yeah.
like a lot of people in the industry in the space. So it's always challenging to be like, you have these terms, processes, frameworks that you learn, and it makes total sense to use that language. But when you're speaking to someone who's um, in the marketing space or in the corporate space, or even some product companies, like it really depends on where they are, where they're located, who they are. Um, like the language has to change, and I mean, it's really surprising to me in that context that someone would put forward a proposal like that, call it an MVP, and then, or maybe it was the client that asked for that level of um, investment on an MVP. Like there's just so much jargon used all the time.
Yeah. But I think
Proof of
if
concept makes
someone's
sense. Like proof of concept literally makes sense to everyone.
it
I would
does,
I
yeah.
think.
I think even as a client, if you're asking for an MVP, like in as an industry leader, you should say, okay, well, this is what an MVP means,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah,
know, do you want a proof of concept? Do you want a MVP or do you want a beta? Like which one is it,
yeah.
right? And I think, like you said, all those terms they're so esoteric. Our industry is really guilty of that. But I also think it's kind of a show of expertise in the wrong way.
Hmm.
Maybe maybe the way to get around this is like you're saying, just getting a bit plainer language injected
Well, I think
into
of
our
like
profession.
our experience, and I would say probably a high percentage of the time, 90% of the time, we are actually responding and saying, "Oh, that's an MVP that you're looking for." Like I can't remember
Yeah.
a, a time in recent history where a client has come to us specifically leading with, "I'm looking for an MVP." They usually describe it as like in certain key characteristics, and then we introduce the terminology MVP, and they're like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So it's like most of the time this language is just doesn't it's just not their language.
No, and we have an acronym problem, I've heard,
Well, even
specifically in
UX,
North America.
we've been speaking about that ourselves for a while. It's like, depending on who your client is and who you're targeting and in what space, there's not a lot of understanding of what you do and what UX design means.
No, I think in our
Like,
own
people
industry,
understand design, but they don't understand user experience design at all.
No, and it's a really weird amorphous role to begin with, right?
Yes, yeah.
Like one UX person to the next, it's going to be very different. Their roles likely very different. It's more organization centric in how they've chosen to write those job descriptions. But yeah, no, I agree. Like it's web design, it's product design, it's not UX design. I mean, you obviously have to use it for SEO. Like you can't not use it, but you know, it is a challenge. I think we do have to abandon some of the trappings of this like overly expert focused language.
Yeah. And it also depends on who you are as an agency, who you're trying to target, and what terminology you're even trying to rank in and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Because web design's not a bad keyword to rank high in
No.
versus user experience design, UX design.
Yeah. Why gatekeep with terminology, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, I think that's it.
nice.
That's we're
So
out of time. But that's a
so
good topic.
you're gonna make the podcast intro music this week with Suno, right?
Yes.
Okay. I look forward. What are you thinking
What's the
for
vibe? I'm
theme?
not sure yet. I have to pull some inspiration.
Okay.
Are we
You
going to
can
change it every week, or what's our plan here? Are we just experimenting and launching, and then we're
we have
vibe coding
we have no
with
plan.
music?
We have no plan. Yes, we're
Yeah.
vibe casting.
Okay, cool. We're
Vibe casting. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All
All right,
right.
cool.
Okay. Signing off.
Okay, see ya. Bye.
Bye.